Move to a cheap Japanese Akiya with a dog, and the biggest logistical hurdle isn't the house, the visa, or the language. It's a government form that has to be filed weeks in advance, tied to a blood test that has to happen a full half a year before your dog is even allowed to land. Japan's animal quarantine system exists to keep the country rabies-free, and it treats that goal as non-negotiable regardless of how ready everything else in a move is. For a dog coming from a rabies-present country, which is most countries, the process starts with 2 rabies vaccinations at least 30 days apart, given after the dog turns 91 days old, followed by a blood test confirming a rabies antibody level of at least 0.5 international units per milliliter. That single blood draw date, not the moving date, not the visa date, is what starts the real countdown. From the date of that blood draw, a dog has to remain outside Japan for a mandatory 180 days before it becomes eligible to enter, no exceptions for a tight, moving timeline. On top of that waiting period, owners must file an advance notification with Japan's Animal Quarantine Service at least 40 days before arrival, listing the microchip number, vaccination, and tighter details, the dog's measurements, and both the current and destination addresses. Every one of these numbers, 91 days, 30 days, 0.5, 180 days, 40 days, is a hard requirement, not a guideline, and missing one resets a clock that was already counting in months. Get all of that right, and the arrival itself is almost anticlimactic. Animal Quarantine Service officers inspect the documents and the dog's health at the port of entry, a process that typically wraps up in a few hours, well under half a day, and issues an import quarantine certificate on the spot. The entire months-long process exists specifically so that this final step can be fast. Skip or mistime any of the earlier requirements, and that same dog can face a lengthy quarantine hold on arrival instead, the exact outcome all the paperwork was designed to prevent. For anyone bringing a pet into a new life in a Japanese Akiya, the honest advice is to treat the animal's paperwork as the actual critical path, not a detail to handle after the house is settled. A blood test scheduled the day the move is decided, not the day the boxes get packed, is what turns a stressful, uncertain process into a routine one. The house can wait for a closing date. The dog's 180-day clock cannot. If this made Japan's empty house market a little clearer, subscribe to Akiya Handbook, the channel that explains how Japan's cheap houses actually work, honestly, and without selling you anything. There is also a free guide waiting in the description, the Akiya Buyer's Starter Guide, How to Buy a Cheap House in Japan Without Getting Burned. 11 chapters on the truth about so-called free houses, the hidden costs, and who should not buy. No hype, and completely free. The link is below. Thanks for watching.